Hello, I'm Pastor Dave, and this is your Monday morning sermon recap for Monday, September 27th, 2021. Here we go. This week we looked at Mark chapter 9, verses 38 through 50, where Jesus has three teachings, one on casting out demons, one on sin, and one regarding salt and its usefulness. These can be taken separately, or we can bring them all together, and in that we see one timeless lesson, which is the fact that throughout our lives, we are confronted by the need to make hard choices. For better or worse, that's how it is. This is where the lesson about cutting off limbs and plucking out eyes comes into play. Now, we have to keep in mind that this would have been easily understood by Jesus and the disciples for exactly what it is. It is a call to faithfulness, not a call to self-mutilation. Self-mutilation was not part of the Jewish faith, especially at that time. But this is more than just about staying faithful, because there are limits to what we do. And this is something that really does affect all of us. We all need to keep our eyes on our faith. But this is easier said and done. It's just the simple fact that sometimes we ignore our faith by focusing on the faith of others. This is actually where the beginning of earlier in chapter 9 comes in, when the disciples are complaining about people casting out demons in God's name, but they weren't disciples of Christ. And Jesus kind of rebukes them by pointing out they're doing God's work nonetheless. And it kind of shows they missed that point, that it wasn't about the work being done. It was about the work being done, not necessarily who was doing it. And this points out that everyone must focus on our faith and remove the obstacles to our faith. The disciples had the obstacle of a little bit of pride in their actions. But we all have obstacles and perspective obstacles ahead of us. And we must be diligent in working on our faith throughout our lives and not get caught up and other things. From this, we know that there are parts of our postmodern life that can distract us from God, and we need to cut those out. Whether it be social media, the news, work, there are things that they don't help us grow in faith, they don't help us grow as people, and really they take us away and move us further from Christ. And when we encounter those things, we need to confront them and possibly cut them out as Jesus directed. And this is a daily task where we must choose where our loyalties are going to lie and what's more important, what we do or Christ. So that is your recap for this week. Remember, we worship every Sunday at 8:45 at East Salem and 10:15 at Otterbein. We live stream the East Salem worship at 8:45. But until next Sunday, I'm Pastor Dave, and I hope to see you in the pews.